Sonnets by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org by Kachuk. Song. When I am dead, my dearest, sing no sad songs for me. Plant thou no roses at my head, nor shady cypress tree. Be the green grass above me with showers and dewdrops wet. And if thou wilt, remember, and if thou wilt, forget. I shall not see the shadows, I shall not feel the rain, I shall not hear the nightingale sing on as if in pain. And dreaming through the twilight that doth not rise nor set, haply I may remember, and haply may forget.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Pause by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. They made the chamber sweet with flowers and leaves, and the bed sweet with flowers on which I lay, while my soul, love-bound, loitered on its way. I did not hear the birds about the eaves, nor hear the reapers talk among the sheaves. Only my soul kept watch from day to day. My thirsty soul kept watch for one away. Perhaps he loves, I thought, remembers, grieves. At length there came the step upon the stair, upon the lock the old familiar hand. Then first my spirit seemed to scent the air of paradise. Then first the tardy sand of time ran golden, and I felt my hair put on a glory, and my soul expand.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
After Death by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. The curtains were half drawn. The floor was swept and strewn with rushes. Rosemary and May lay thick upon the bed on which I lay, where through the lattice ivy shadows crept. He leaned above me, thinking that I slept, and could not hear him, but I heard him say, "Poor child, poor child." And as he turned away came a deep silence, and I knew he wept. He did not touch the shroud, or raise the fold that hid my face, or take my hand in his, or ruffle the smooth pillows for my head. He did not love me living, but once dead he pitied me. And very sweet it is to know he still is warm, though I am cold.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
An Echo from Willow-Wood by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. Two gazed into a pool, he gazed and she, not hand in hand yet heart in heart, I think, pale and reluctant on the water's brink, as on the brink of parting which must be. Each eyed the other's aspect, she and he, each felt one hungering heart leap up and sink. Each tasted bitterness which both must drink. There, on the brink of life's dividing sea. Lilies upon the surface, deep below two wistful faces craving each for each. Resolute and reluctant without speech, a sudden ripple made the faces flow, one moment joined, to vanish out of reach. So those hearts joined, and were parted so.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. Methinks the ills of life I fain would shun, but then I must shun life, which is a blank. Even in my childhood oft my spirit sank, thinking of all that had still to be done. Among my many friends there is not one like her, with whom I sat upon the bank, willow o'ershadowed, from whose lips I drank a love more pure than streams that sing and run. But many times that joy has cost a sigh, and many times I in my heart have sought for the old comfort, and not found it yet. Surely in that calm day when I shall die, the painful thought will be a blessed thought, and I shall sorrow that I must forget.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. I sought among the living, and I seek among the dead, for some to love. But few I found at last, and those had quite run through their store of love. And friendship is too weak, too cold for me, yet will I never speak, telling my heart want to smooth listeners who would wonder, smiling. I can bear and do. Hot shame shall dry no tears upon my cheek. So when my dust shall mix with other dust, when I shall have found quiet in decay, and lie at ease and cease, like a mere thought, those whom I loved, thinking on me, shall not grieve with a measure, saying, now we must weep for a little, ere we laugh today.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. Ah, well-a-day, and wherefore am I here? I sit alone all day, I sit and think. I watch the sun arise, I watch it sink, and feel no soul light, though the day is clear. Surely it is a folly, it is mere madness to stand forever on the brink of dark despair, and yet not break the link that makes me scorned who cannot be held dear. I will have done with it. I will not stand and fear on without hope, and tremble thus, look for the break of day, and miss it ever. Although my heart be broken, they shall never say, she was glad to sojourn among us, thankful if one would take her by the hand.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Rest by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. O earth, lie heavily upon her eyes. Seal her sweet eyes, weary of watching, earth. Lie close around her. Leave no room for mirth with its harsh laughter, nor for sound of sighs. She hath no questions, she hath no replies, hushed in and curtained with a blessed dearth of all that irked her from the hour of birth, with stillness that is almost paradise. Darkness more clear than noonday holdeth her, silence more musical than any song. Even her very heart has ceased to stir. until the morning of eternity. Her rest shall not begin nor end, but be. And when she wakes, she will not think it long.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Immalee by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. I gather thyme upon the sunny hills, and its pure fragrance ever gladdens me. And in my mind having tranquillity, I smile to see how my green basket fills. And by clear streams I gather daffodils, and in dim woods find out the cherry tree, and take its fruit, and the wild strawberry, and nuts and honey, and live free from ills. I dwell on the green earth, 'neath the blue sky. Birds are my friends, and leaves my rustling roof. The deer are not afraid of me, and I hear the wild goat, and hail its hastening hoof. The squirrels sit perked as I pass them by, and even the watchful hare stands not aloof.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Venus's Looking Glass by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. I marked where lovely Venus and her court with song and dance and merry laugh went by. Weightless, their wingless feet seemed made to fly, bound from the ground and in mid-air to sport. Left far behind I heard the dolphins snort, tracking their goddess with a wistful eye, around whose head white doves rose, wheeling high or low, and cooed after their tender sort. All this I saw in spring. Through summer heat I saw the lovely Queen of Love no more. But when flushed autumn through the woodlands went, I spied sweet Venus walk amid the wheat, whom seeing every harvester gave o'er his toil, and laughed, and hoped, and was content.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Love Lies Bleeding by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. Love that is dead and buried, yesterday out of his grave rose up before my face. No recognition in his look, no trace of memory in his eyes, dust-trimmed and gray. While I, remembering, found no word to say, but felt my quickened heart leap in its place. Caught afterglow thrown back from long-set days, caught echoes of all music passed away. Was this indeed to meet? I mind me yet, in youth we met when hope and love were quick. We parted with hope dead, but love alive. I mind me how we parted then, heartsick, remembering, loving, hopeless, weak to strive. Was this to meet? Not so. We have not met.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Touching Never by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. Because you never yet have loved me, dear, think you never can nor ever will? Surely while life remains, hope lingers still. Hope, the last blossom of life's dying year. Because the season and mine age grow sere, Shall never spring bring forth her daffodil? Shall never sweeter summer feast her fill of roses with the nightingales they hear? If you had loved me, I not loving you, if you had urged me with the tender plea of what our unknown years to come might do, eternal years, if time should count too few, I would have owned the point you pressed on me was possible, or probable, or true.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Remember by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. Remember me when I am gone away, gone far away into the silent land, when you can no more hold me by the hand, nor I half turn to go, yet turning stay. Remember me when no more day by day you tell me of our future that you planned. Only remember me. You understand it will be late to counsel then, or pray. Yet if you should forget me for a while, and afterwards remember, do not grieve. For if the darkness and corruption leave a vestige of the thoughts that once I had, better by far you should forget and smile, than that you should remember and be sad.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Resurgam by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. From depth to height, from height to loftier height, the climber sets his foot and sets his face, tracks lingering sunbeams to their halting place, and counts the last pulsations of the light. Strenuous through day and unsurprised by night, he runs a race with time and wins the race, emptied and stripped of all, save only grace, will, love, a threefold panoply of might. Darkness descends, for light he toiled to seek. He stumbles on the darkened mountain head, left breathless in the unbreathable thin air, made freeman of the living and the dead. He wots not he has topped the topmost peak, but the returning sun will find him there.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
From the Psalms by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. All through the livelong night I lay awake, watering my couch with tears of heaviness. None stood beside me in my sore distress. Then cried I to my heart, if thou wilt, break, but be thou still. No moaning will I make, nor ask man's help, nor kneel that he may bless. So I kept silence in my haughtiness, till lo the fire was kindled, and I spake, saying, Oh that I had wings like to a dove, then would I flee away and be at rest. I would not pray for friends, or hope, or love, but still the weary throbbing of my breast, and gazing on the changeless heavens above, witness that such a quietness is best.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Portrait by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. She gave up beauty in her tender youth, gave all her hope and joy and pleasant ways, She covered up her eyes, lest they should gaze on vanity, and chose the bitter truth. Harsh towards herself, towards others full of ruth, servant of servants, little known to praise. Long prayers and fasts trenched on her nights and days. She schooled herself to sights and sounds uncouth, that with the poor and stricken she might make a home, until the least of all sufficed her wants. Her own self learned she to forsake, counting all earthly gain but hurt and loss. So with calm will she chose and bore the cross, and hated all for love of Jesus Christ.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Son, Remember by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. I, laid beside thy gate, am Lazarus. See me or see me not, I still am there, hungry and thirsty, sore and sick and bare, dog comforted and crumbs solicitous, while thou in all thy ways art sumptuous, daintily clothed with dainties for thy fare. Thus a world's wonder thou art quit of care, and be I seen or not seen, I am thus. One day a worm for thee, a worm for me. With my worm angel songs and trumpet burst, and plenitude, an end of all desire. But what for thee, alas, but what for thee? Fire, and an unextinguishable thirst, thirst in an unextinguishable fire.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Who have a form of godliness by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. When I am sick and tired, it is God's will. Also God's will alone is sure and best. So in my weariness I find my rest, and so in poverty I take my fill. Therefore I see my good in midst of ill. Therefore in loneliness I build my nest, and through hot noon pant toward the shady west, and hope in sickening disappointment still. So when the times of restitution come, the sweet times of refreshing come at last, my God shall fill my longings to the brim. Therefore I wait and look and long for him, not wearied though the work is wearisome, nor fainting though the time be almost past.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
One Certainty by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. Vanity of vanities, the preacher saith, all things are vanity. The eye and ear cannot be filled with what they see and hear. Like early dew, or like the sudden breath of wind, or like the grass that withereth, is man, tossed to and fro by hope and fear. So little joy hath he, so little cheer, till all things end in the long dust of death. Today is still the same as yesterday, tomorrow also even as one of them, and there is nothing new under the sun until the ancient race of time be run. The old thorns shall grow out of the old stem, and morning shall be cold and twilight gray.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. This life is full of numbness and of balk, of haltingness and baffled shortcoming, of promise unfulfilled, of everything that is puffed vanity and empty talk. Its very bud hangs cankered on the stalk. Its very songbird trails a broken wing. Its very spring is not indeed like spring, but sighs like autumn round an aimless walk. This life we live is dead for all its breath. Death's self it is, set off on pilgrimage, travelling with tottering steps the first short stage. The second stage is one mere desert dust, where death sits veiled amid creation's rust. Unveil thy face, O death, who art not death.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. I have dreamed of death. What will it be to die, not in a dream, but in the literal truth, with all death's adjuncts, ghastly and uncouth, the pang that is the last, and the last sigh, too dulled it may be for a last good-bye, too comfortless for any one to soothe, a helpless, charmless spectacle of ruth, through long last hours, so long while yet they fly, so long to those who, hopeless in their fear, watch the slow breath and look for what they dread, while I, supine, with ears that cease to hear, with eyes that glaze, with heart pulse running down, alas, no saint rejoicing on her bed, may miss the goal at last, may miss a crown.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. In life our absent friend is far away, but death may bring our friend exceeding near, show him familiar faces long so dear, and lead him back in reach of words we say. He only cannot utter yea or nay in any voice accustomed to our ear. He only cannot make his face appear and turn the sun back on our shadowed day. The dead may be around us, dear and dead. The unforgotten dearest dead may be watching us with unslumbering eyes and heart, brimful of words which cannot yet be said, brimful of knowledge they may not impart, brimful of love for you and love for me.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. Thou, who didst make and knowest whereof we are made, O bear in mind our dust and nothingness, our wordless, tearless numbness of distress. Bear thou in mind the burden thou hast laid upon us, and our feebleness unstayed, except thou stay us. For the long, long race, which stretches far and far before our face, thou knowest. Remember thou whereof we are made. If making makes us thine, then thine we are, and if redemption, we are twice thine own. If once thou didst come down from heaven afar, to seek us and to find us, how not save? Comfort us, save us, leave us not alone, thou who didst die our death and fill our grave.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. So tired am I, so weary of today, so unrefreshed from foregone weariness, so overburdened by foreseen distress, so lagging and so stumbling on my way, I scarce can rouse myself to watch or pray, to hope or aim or toil for more or less. Ah, always less and less. Even while I press forward and toil and aim as best I may, half starved of soul and heartsick utterly, yet lift I up my heart and soul and eyes, which fail in looking upward toward the prize. Me, Lord, thou seest though I see not thee, me, now, as once the thief in paradise, even me, O Lord, my Lord, remember me.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. Lord, thou thyself art love, and only thou. Yet I, who am not love, would fain love thee. But thou alone being love canst furnish me with that same love my heart is craving now. Allow my plea, for if thou disallow, no second fountain can I find but thee, no second hope or help is left to me, no second anything but only thou. O love, accept, according my request. O love, exhaust, fulfilling my desire. Uphold me with the strength that cannot tire. Nerve me to labor till thou bid me rest. Kindle my fire from thine unkindled fire, and charm the willing heart from out my breast.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Vanity of Vanities by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. Ah, woe is me for pleasure that is vain! Ah, woe is me for glory that is past! Pleasure that bringeth sorrow at the last, glory that at the last bringeth no gain. So saith the sinking heart, and so again it shall say till the mighty angel blast is blown, making the sun and moon aghast, and showering down the stars like sudden rain. And evermore men shall go fearfully, bending beneath their weight of heaviness, and ancient men shall lie down wearily, and strong men shall rise up in weariness. Yea, even the young shall answer sighingly, saying one to another, how vain it is.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
From Sunset to Starrise by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. Go from me, summer friends, and tarry not. I am no summer friend, but wintry cold, a silly sheep benighted from the fold, a sluggard with a thorn-choked garden plot. Take counsel, sever from my lot your lot, dwell in your pleasant places, hoard your gold, lest you with me should shiver on the wold, athirst and hungering on a barren spot. For I have hedged me with a thorny hedge, I live alone, I look to die alone. Yet sometimes when a wind sighs through the sedge, ghosts of my buried years and friends come back. My heart goes sighing after swallows flown on sometime summer's unreturning track.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. What seekest thou, far in the unknown land? In hope I follow joy gone on before, in hope and fear persistent more and more, as the dry desert lengthens out its sand, whilst day and night I carry in my hand the golden key to ope the golden door of golden home. Yet mine eye weepeth sore, for long the journey is that makes no stand. And who is this that veiled doth walk with thee? Lo, this is love that walketh at my right. One exile holds us both, and we are bound to self-same home joys in the land of light. Weeping, thou walkest with him. Weepeth he? Some sobbing weep, some weep and make no sound.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
By Way of Remembrance by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. Remember, if I claim too much of you, I claim it of my brother and my friend. Have patience with me till the hidden end, bitter or sweet, in mercy shut from view. Pay me my due, though I to pay your due am all too poor, and past what will can mend. Thus of your bounty you must give and lend, still unrepaid by aught I look to do, still unrepaid by aught of mine on earth, but overpaid, please God, when recompense beyond the mystic Jordan and new birth is dealt to virtue as to innocence, when angels singing praises in their mirth have borne you in their arms and fetched you hence.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Lady Montrevor by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. I do not look for love that is a dream. I only seek for courage to be still, to bear my grief with an unbending will, and when I am aweary not to seem. Let the round world roll on, let the sun beam, let the wind blow, and let the rivers fill the everlasting sea, and on the hill the palms almost touch heaven, as children deem. And though young spring and summer pass away, and autumn and cold winter come again, and though my soul, being tired of its pain, pass from the ancient earth, and though my clay return to dust, my tongue shall not complain. No man shall mock me after this my day.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Babylon the Great by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. Foul is she, and ill-favored, set askew. Gaze not upon her till thou dream her fair, lest she should mesh thee in her wanton hair. Adept in arts grown old, yet ever new. Her heart lusts not for love, but through and through for blood, as spotted panther lusts in lair. No wine is in her cup, but filth is there, unutterable, with plagues hid out of view. Gaze not upon her, for her dancing whirl turns giddy the fixed gazer presently. Gaze not upon her, lest thou be as she, when, at the far end of her long desire, her scarlet vest and gold and gem and pearl, and she, amid her pomp, are set on fire.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
In an Artist's Studio by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. One face looks out from all his canvases. One self-same figure sits or walks or leans. We found her hidden just behind those screens. That mirror gave back all her loveliness. A queen in opal or in ruby dress, a nameless girl in freshest summer greens, a saint, an angel, every canvas means the same one meaning, neither more nor less. He feeds upon her face by day and night, and she with true kind eyes looks back on him, fair as the moon and joyful as the light. Not one with waiting, not with sorrow dim, not as she is, but was when hope shone bright. Not as she is, but as she fills his dream.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Triad by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. Three sang of love together, one with lips crimson, with cheeks and bosom in a glow, flushed to the yellow hair and finger-tips. And one there sang whose soft and smooth as snow bloomed like a tinted hyacinth at a show. And one was blue with famine after love, who like a harp-string snapped, rang harsh and low the burden of what those were singing of. One shamed herself in love, one temperately grew gross in soulless love, a sluggish wife. One famished died for love. Thus two of three took death for love, and won him after strife. One droned in sweetness like a fattened bee, all on the threshold, yet all short of life.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Soul by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. She stands as pale as Parian statues stand, like Cleopatra when she turned at bay, and felt her strength above the Roman sway, and felt the aspic writhing in her hand. Her face is steadfast toward the shadowy land, for dim beyond it looms the land of day. Her feet are steadfast all the arduous way, that foot-track doth not waver on the sand. She stands there like a beacon through the night, a pale clear beacon where the storm drift is. She stands alone, a wonder deathly white. She stands there patient, nerved within her might, indomitable in her feebleness, her face and will athirst against the light.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
To Every Seed His Own Body, by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. Bone to his bone, grain to his grain of dust, a numberless reunion shall make whole each blessed body for its blessed soul, refashioning the aspects of the just. Each saint who died must live afresh, and must ascend resplendent in the aureole of his own proper glory to his goal, as seeds their proper bodies all upthrust, each with his own, not with another's grace, each with his own, not with another's heart, each with his own, not with another's face. Each dove-like soul mounts to his proper place. O faces unforgotten, if to part wrung sore, what will it be to re-embrace?
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Thread of Life, by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. The irresponsive silence of the land, the irresponsive sounding of the sea, speak both one message of one sense to me. Aloof, aloof, we stand aloof, so stand thou too aloof, bound with the flawless band of inner solitude. We bind not thee, but who from thy self-chain shall set thee free? What heart shall touch thy heart? What hand thy hand? And I am sometimes proud and sometimes meek, and sometimes I remember days of old, when fellowship seemed not so far to seek, and all the world and I seemed much less cold, and at the rainbow's foot lay surely gold, and hope felt strong, and life itself not weak.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Monna Innominata, a sonnet of sonnets, by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. 1. Come back to me who wait and watch for you, or come not yet, for it is over then, and long it is before you come again, so far between my pleasures are and few. While, when you come not, what I do thinking, now when he comes, my sweetest, when? For one man is my world of all the men this wide world holds. O love, my world is you. Howbeit, to meet you grows almost a pang, because the pang of parting comes so soon. My hope hangs waning, waxing, like a moon between the heavenly days on which we meet. Ah me, but where are now the songs I sang, when life was sweet because you called them sweet? 2. I wish I could remember that first day, first hour, first moment of your meeting me. If bright or dim the season, it might be summer or winter, for aught I can say. So unrecorded did it slip away, so blind was I to see and to foresee, so dull to mark the budding of my tree that would not blossom yet for many a May. If only I could recollect it, such a day of days! I let it come and go, as traceless as a thaw of bygone snow. It seemed to mean so little, meant so much. If only now I could recall that touch, first touch of hand in hand, did one but know. 3. I dream of you to wake. Would that I might dream of you and not wake, but slumber on, nor find with dreams the dear companion gone, as, summer ended, summer birds take flight. In happy dreams I hold you full in sight. I blush again, who waking look so wan, brighter than sunniest day that ever shone. In happy dreams your smile makes day of night. Thus only in a dream we are at one. Thus only in a dream we give and take the faith that maketh rich who take or give. If thus to sleep is sweeter than to wake, to die were surely sweeter than to live, though there be nothing new beneath the sun. 4. I loved you first, but afterwards your love, outsoaring mine, sang such a loftier song as drowned the friendly cooings of my dove. Which owes the other most? My love was long, and yours one moment seemed to wax more strong. I loved and guessed at you. You construed me, and loved me for what might or might not be. Nay, weights and measures do us both a wrong, for verily love knows not mine or thine. With separate I and thou, free love has done. For one is both, and both are one in love. Rich love knows naught of thine that is not mine. Both have the strength and both the length thereof. Both of us of the love which makes us one. 5. O my heart's heart, and you who are to me more than myself, myself. God be with you. Keep you in strong obedience, leal and true, to Him whose noble service setteth free. Give you all good we see or can foresee. Make your joys many and your sorrows few. Bless you in what you bear and what you do. Yea, perfect you as He would have you be. So much for you, but what for me, dear friend? To love you without stint and all I can, today, tomorrow, world without an end, to love you much and yet to love you more, as Jordan at his flood sweeps either shore, since woman is the helpmeet made for man. 6. Trust me, I have not earned your dear rebuke. I love as you would have me, God the most. Would lose not Him but you, must one be lost. Nor with Lot's wife cast back a faithless look, unready to forego what I forsook. This, say I, having counted up the cost, this, though I be the feeblest of God's host, the sorriest sheep Christ shepherds with His crook. Yet while I love my God the most, I deem that I can never love you overmuch. I love Him more, so let me love you too. Yea, as I apprehend it, love is such I cannot love you if I love not Him. I cannot love Him if I love not you. 7. Love me, for I love you, and answer me. Love me, for I love you. So shall we stand as happy equals in the flowering land of love, that knows not a dividing sea. Love builds the house on rock, and not on sand. Love laughs, what while the winds rave desperately? And who hath found love's citadel unmanned? And who hath held in bonds love's liberty? My heart's a coward, though my words are brave. We meet so seldom, yet we surely part so often. There's a problem for your art. Still I find comfort in his book, who saith, though jealousy be cruel as the grave, and death be strong, yet love is strong as death. 8. Ay, if I perish, perish, Esther spake, and bride of life or death she made her fair, in all the lustre of her perfumed hair, and smiles that kindle longing but to slake. She put on pomp of loveliness, to take her husband through his eyes at unaware. She spread abroad her beauty for a snare, harmless as doves and subtle as a snake. She trapped him with one mesh of silken hair. She vanquished him by wisdom of her wit, and built her people's house that it should stand. If I might take my life so in my hand, and for my love to love put up my prayer, and for love's sake by love be granted it. 9. Thinking of you and all that was, and all that might have been, and now can never be, I feel your honored excellence, and see myself unworthy of the happier call. For woe is me who walk so apt to fall, so apt to shrink afraid, so apt to flee, apt to lie down and die. Ah, woe is me! Faithless and hopeless, turning to the wall, and yet not hopeless quite, nor faithless quite, because not loveless. Love may toil all night, but take at morning, wrestle till the break of day, but then wield power with God and man. So take I heart of grace as best I can, ready to spend and be spent for your sake. 10. Time flies, hope flags, life plies a wearied wing. Death, following hard on life, gains ground apace. Faith runs with each, and rears an eager face. Outruns the rest, makes light of everything, spurns earth, and still finds breath to pray and sing, while love, ahead of all, uplifts his praise, still asks for grace, and still gives thanks for grace, content with all day brings and night will bring. Life wanes, and when love folds his wings above tired hope, and less we feel his conscious pulse, let us go fall asleep, dear friend, in peace. A little while, and age and sorrow cease. A little while, and life reborn annuls loss and decay and death, and all is love. 11. Many in after times will say of you, he loved her, while of me what will they say? Not that I loved you more than just in play, for fashion's sake, as idle women do. Even let them prate, who know not what we knew of love and parting and exceeding pain, of parting hopeless here to meet again, hopeless on earth, and heaven is out of view. But by my heart of love laid bare to you, my love that you can make not void nor vain, love that forgoes you but to claim anew beyond this passage of the gate of death, I charge you at the judgment make it plain my love of you was life and not a breath. 12. If there be any one can take my place and make you happy whom I grieve to grieve, think not that I can grudge it, but believe I do commend you to that nobler grace, that readier wit than mine, that sweeter face. Yea, since your riches make me rich, conceive I too am crowned, while bridal crowns I weave, and thread the bridal dance with jocund pace. For if I did not love you, it might be that I should grudge you some one dear delight. But since the heart is yours that was mine own, your pleasure is my pleasure, right, my right. Your honorable freedom makes me free, and you companioned, I am not alone. 13. If I could trust mine own self with your fate, shall I not rather trust it in God's hand, without whose will one lily doth not stand, nor sparrow fall at his appointed date, who numbereth the innumerable sand, who weighs the wind and water with a weight, to whom the world is neither small nor great, whose knowledge foreknew every plan we planned. Searching my heart for all that touches you, I find there only love and love's goodwill, helpless to help and impotent to do, of understanding dull, of sight most dim, and therefore I commend you back to Him, whose love your love's capacity can fill. 14. Youth gone and beauty gone, if ever there dwelt beauty in so poor a face as this. Youth gone and beauty, what remains of bliss? I will not bind fresh roses in my hair, to shame a cheek at best but little fair. Leave youth his roses, who can bear a thorn. I will not seek for blossoms anywhere, except such common flowers as blow with corn. Youth gone and beauty gone, what doth remain? The longing of a heart pent up, forlorn, a silent heart whose silence loves and longs, the silence of a heart which sang its songs while youth and beauty made a summer morn, silence of love that cannot sing again.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The End of the First Part by Christina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org. My happy, happy dream is finished with, my dream in which alone I lived so long. My heart slept, woe is me, it wakeneth, was weak, I thought it strong. O weary wakening from a life-true dream! O pleasant dream from which I wake in pain! I rested all my trust on things that seem, and all my trust is vain. I must pull down my palace that I built, dig up the pleasure gardens of my soul, must change my laughter to sad tears for guilt, my freedom to control. Now all the cherished secrets of my heart, now all my hidden hopes are turned to sin. Part of my life is dead, part sick, and part is all on fire within. The fruitless thought of what I might have been, haunting me ever, will not let me rest. A cold north wind has withered all my green, my sun is in the west. But where my palace stood, with the same stone, I will uprear a shady hermitage, and there my spirit shall keep house alone, accomplishing its age. There other garden beds shall lie around, full of sweet briar and incense-bearing time. There I will sit and listen for the sound of the last lingering chime.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. End of Sonnets by Christina Rossetti.